Okay. Hi. Welcome to this week's Tech Talk with Carol. And this week we brought in DHL Express because there's so much of happening when we're MCO. We can't catch up with one another, and there's so many of my friends that I'm catching up, and I'm learning new things. And apparently, DHL Express has introduced a lot of new services, especially catered during the lockdown, during the digitization period when we were locked down since March. So I have here, let me unpin first, remove my pin. And today we have Elvin Williams. I never see Elvin Williams like this in my whole 4 5 years knowing him.
Hi.
Okay. So he's working from home. I'm working from home as well, everybody. So I'll put the floor to Elvin. Let Elvin talk about where he's from, his name, and all this, and introduce who is DHL Express. Because in all the e-commerce that you know, you have two DHL services. One is DHL Express. The other one is called DHL e-commerce. I will do a session with DHL e-commerce later, but now Express comes first because that's how I knew Express first before I knew the e-commerce team back in 2006. So I knew the Express team first. So Elvin, the floor is yours, and please introduce yourself and please introduce those who do not know who is DHL Express.
All right. Shall I use the slides for that? Is that okay?
Now you introduce yourself
Okay.
first in the camera like this. Who are you? And then after that, then you share
Okay.
your slides.
All right. All right. Hi. Good afternoon. Hi. Thanks for the introduction, Carol, and thanks for having us on board with you. Yeah, certainly it's been quite a while since we last spoke. I think a lot of things have happened. I think a lot of exciting things as well. By the way, my name is Alvin Williams. I've been with DHL for the last 17, 18 years. I've been in the industry for about 23 in Air Express, Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei. Yeah, and I think this has been one of the most difficult plus exciting plus challenging years since I've been to work. And I think what this year has brought on for us, especially Malaysians, is the rapid digitalization of our business. As you know, at the start of the year, we saw a rapid uptake in people taking their businesses online. And that has been pretty good actually, because we've been at it with Carol since 2015, trying to get SMEs to go international, go cross border, and things like that. It was pretty lukewarm at the start, but you know, we've certainly seen a big hype over the last 8 months, and you know, applaud everyone for moving ahead. And I think it's going to be good for us in Malaysia. Yeah. Yeah. So if I could just share. Yeah, a bit about DHL. Just hang on.
Your team, is it half go to office? I know the operation team will definitely have to be on office lah, kan William? Kan Elvin's?
Yes. Yes. So most of the time, salespeople, most of the departments are working from home, except for customer service and operations. They've been supporting us throughout. Some have been working from home as well. Some of us have come back to work late September.
Oh,
but
wow.
with the latest increase in cases, we have all decided to work from home as well.
Okay.
So I think working from home was another good experience, right? I mean, good and bad. I think you then you know, get your footing, and I think you get comfortable after a while. So yeah, it's been good. Most are working from home. Can you see my slides?
Not yet. Not yet. You know how to share or not? Have you used Zoom before to share?
Yes. Yes, I have. Okay. Sometimes my
you got a lot of LED screen, is it? Okay. Okay.
You can see, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You have to projector lah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just to, yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, I've been in the business for quite a bit in Air Express, do a bit of consulting in our solutions that we provide. been notable successes in e-commerce, aerospace, oil and energy back in the day. And I think DHL provides me with that ability to, and that, gives me the opportunity to practice certain new projects, industries and things like that. So it gives you that pioneering spirit, so to speak. Okay, so let's get into it. Just quick introduction on DHL in Malaysia. So we are, as a group, we are owned by Deutsche Post DHL, which is the German postal company. And these numbers represent our presence here in Malaysia, right? So in Malaysia, as you can see, it's not only Express, although we were the first to represent the brand here in Malaysia in '73. So we have about 1,250 employees covering all of Malaysia, East and West. We've got also, so what do we do? I will share with you later, but I will just share a bit more about the rest of the group. Global forwarding and freight, this is your hardcore air and sea freight. This is a result of a combination of acquisitions over the years. Excel Supply, Excel Group, Danzas, AEI, yeah, so they've all merged to become global forwarding freight. With a staff strength of 335, 335 in Malaysia and 12 service centers. Supply chain is what in the e-commerce world will be known as e-fulfillment, warehouses and suppliers, right? So what supply chain does is contract logistics, third-party contract logistics for lead logistics player kind of setup. And they've been around since '68 as a company, back then represented by the brand Excel. So they represent a population of more than 1,400 people, and we have quite a number of warehouses dotted across the country to serve our customers. So customers in supply chain would roughly be the likes of, say, for example, it could be the likes of Procter & Gamble, fast-moving consumer goods with requirements for distribution. So I think most of you are then very familiar with e-commerce solutions. Okay, so this is the latest, newest addition to the family. DHL focusing on final mile domestic delivery as well as cross-border using the postal services network. Okay, so they've grown pretty rapidly as well, 234 people and 37 locations across Malaysia. Apart from that, you may or may not know, but we house two very large and important services in Malaysia. One is our information technology services. Most of you would have seen it in Cyberjaya. We have more than 1,500 people. It's one of two global data centers serving the DHL group. And we also have our Asia Pacific Shared Service Center. Again, so DHL has been committed to this country for quite a while, and we will continue to make, Malaysia a very important part of the network, as it already is. Yeah. Okay, so what do we do for DHL Express? We pick up and deliver documents and parcels as fast as possible, as we are able to on the scheduled express network. So just for your understanding, in Malaysia, we operate 4 flights a day, right? So 4 aircraft, freighter aircraft, serving the DHL network out of Malaysia, all right? That's actually quite a bit for a country. So what do we also do? We also help facilitate global trade by enabling our customers to expand their businesses to and from any country. So, most people don't realize as soon as you sign up for a DHL account, what you're actually doing is you're opening your business to the doors of the world, provided you know how to get your promotions done right and all that. But we can basically serve every single country and city around the world, okay, barring any places that have UN embargoes. All right, so so we are your gateway basically to the world, anywhere across the world. Okay, very quickly, our global network is served by more than 250 planes, our own, as well as we use also partner airlines. We have facilities dotted all across the globe, and we have 36 major air hubs. So basically what this chart is trying to share with you is we are connected pretty much to every city around the world, with served by large hubs and gateways throughout the globe. Okay, so this is an example of our transit times. It's next day within Asia Pacific, 2 to 3 days within Europe, and 1 to 3 days within America. Most of our transit times have remained the same. Certain countries are experiencing an increase in orders or increase in transactions because of COVID. So certain countries may have some slight delays in the transit times, but it's still serviceable. Yeah. Okay, so Carol, I've come to just introducing DHL as a whole, very high level. So do you want me to carry on with the possible services that we have?
Yeah, the one that is you introduce like what you can offer to the Malaysia one, which is perfect, this one.
Okay. Right, so we come on to what we see as ideal services for Malaysian SMEs, right? So what we have. So recently we've updated our systems. It's called MyDHL Plus. It makes it a whole lot easier to, prepare your shipments, integrate with your existing order management systems, as well as, it's your one-stop center for managing your shipping needs. You get to check rates, you get to track shipments, book for supplies. So at DHL, we also provide supplies to our clients. So if you need packaging material, that's provided for you as well. So if you're a small micro SME starting out, there's no need for you to create your own shipping packaging. You can actually get it from your supplier, some supplies from us. We can ship it out for you. Yeah. Of course, at the later stage, you might want to customize your own packaging with your own brand. I think once you're ready to do that, yeah, that'll be a good idea. But in the meantime, we can support you in that way as well. Okay. With DHL as well, we have introduced a new app. It's called DHL Commerce. These days, there's no need to download and upload information from a marketplace. We actually integrated with the marketplace, so you can actually, at one press of a button, if you got 50 sales for the day, you get 50 automated airway bills printed out for you. Yeah, so that's also pretty interesting for especially micro SMEs, small SMEs with a limited workforce.
Well, how long is this? When did you design this? Recently only, MyDHL Plus?
No. DHL Plus has been around, but it's been enhanced from time to time to make it easier to use. So these days, it's so easy to use as long as you know how to operate an iPhone. Yeah, you can operate the MyDHL Plus as well, because it's a step-by-step thing. So if you miss out something, it won't allow you to move forward, right? And things like that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. I think one thing that has come up really strongly during this time of no contact is the contactless deliveries that we offering that we have. So on-demand delivery has been with us for the last 5 years. Honestly, it's been very slow uptake before COVID. Since then, everyone seems to love it because what it does for you is it lets you customize how and when you want to receive your parcels. All right. So as you know, some could be working from home, some could be not working from home. So this allows, and this you as a seller get to provide this additional added beneficial service to your buyers, because they get to choose when they want to. So some could be alternate working from home days, so they can then schedule the delivery to suit their time. You could leave it with a neighbor. We could hold it for you if you're on vacation. You could even pick it up from a appropriate and appointed drop-off point. Yeah, so this is something that has taken up pretty good. And I think a lot of people now, especially in the Western world, they seem to like this particular service. Okay. Okay, so the other ways that we help customers is obviously you have paperless trade. This helps reduce costs of printing for small SMEs. You need not print out the invoices anymore. It's automatically uploaded through the system. That also helps with transmitting this data to the receiving country's customs, who then can start working on pre-notifications and pre-clearance as fast as possible. We also have our trade automation services. This is for you to go and understand how to navigate the very difficult national, especially if you're a startup. But once you have spent some time and have some form of experience, it then gets pretty easy.
Wait, Alvin, go back to this slide. Just now you were cut off. You were saying that for the difficult what just now?
No, sometimes, especially if you have no logistics experience. Okay, so let's what I've seen, right? So I've been largely in Express all this time, and before the advent of e-commerce, most of the people I deal with in companies usually have a shipping person, a logistics executive, or at least someone with some knowledge of shipping. All right. So what we get these days is a lot of people that startups, entrepreneurs, and things like that with zero logistics experience. So when they start, they sometimes get taken aback by the amount of things they need to know.
Yeah.
So that's where we come in and help you with that through our knowledge. But at the same time, you can self-serve because we got the DHL trade automation services that helps you understand what are tariff codes, what could be your landed cost if you're trying to penetrate a new market, do we have a free trade agreement between Malaysia and Australia? If so, then what are the tariffs or no tariffs at all, So this helps them understand free trade, a bit of customs, a bit of international shipping.
So the screenshots that you provide at the bottom, are those accessible when we have an account with DHL Express?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we've been updating this site as well. Soon it's going to be upgraded to another site that's going to be, of course, with each upgrade, we obviously want to look at user friendliness and things like that. So hopefully by next year, we'll be able to have it for the masses. Yeah. Okay. So this is a typical shipment flow. I won't bore you with this, but so along the way, where do the new services apply to? Okay, number one, with MyDHL, you're preparing through a system that has stored data for you. You can use it as your address book. You can use it for costing wise, so what you spend for the month. You can even look at where your customers are coming from based on the shipper data, receiver data. Okay, this is where then you apply paperless trade and upload, or rather use the system to create a shipping invoice for you. At the same time, if you look at point number 10, as it goes out for delivery, if your client had chosen and made changes to the ODD feature, they will then get the desired delivery as per their requirements. Yeah, so this is how largely a shipment flows. So know your markets. I think if you want to break into the overseas markets, I think there's so much data available outside. Go e-commerce is one. You got from service providers like us who have been in the global logistics industry, global trade. You can refer to some of our publications as well. You can check discoverdhl.com/e-commerce for more insights into other markets. So for Malaysians, next year, DHL will be embarking on continuing our drive for e-commerce. But this time around, we're going to be looking into getting, obviously, marketplaces are involved. We are looking also at how we can help support in terms of getting the right finance partners for our SMEs. As you know, traditional bank may require 3 years trading and 3 years P&L and paperwork and accounting and stuff like that. So, there are other sources of finance that could help with, sudden growth. Yeah. And there's also supply chain financing. And I note that a couple of Malaysian finance companies are actually doing that. I think that's also important to know. I think the SMEs need to know what are their options out there. So stay tuned next year as we revamp our, SME microsite at DHL. We'll be putting up a lot more content. As well as which countries feature in as possible good growth markets for Malaysian products.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so next we have a couple of success stories for you. One, we can't use names these days due to PDPA and stuff like that, but nevertheless, we'll give you a gist of how this person succeeded. So we've been conducting a continuous series of workshops in Malaysia, with partners like MDEC, Carol, marketplaces, payment gateways and the likes, and even other governmental agencies. The whole idea here was to ensure that, all communities are brought into the economic pie and everyone gets to make some money. And that led us to a series of workshops that we even conducted in East Coast of Malaysia. And what we found out was there were a pretty good number of creative people down in East Coast of Malaysia who were trading in grade A pre-loved goods. Now these guys, their thing was their ability to spot good quality and current fashion based on vintage clothing, right? So what we helped them do was to reach more customers across the globe as they went on to post their wares on eBay and Etsy. So we were able to help them fulfill these orders to even the remote and funniest of locations that you would never have thought that e-commerce would go to, and we were able to help him expand his markets. He's generally doing pretty well these days, and he's gone into other forms of businesses, but obviously utilizing the backbone of e-commerce as a platform to trade. My dear friend here has now moved his business from the east to the west, as he needed to be closer to the ecosystem here in KL for business expansion. But having said that, I think I think e-commerce can be fulfilled from anywhere across the country, as long as you have a desire to succeed. You know how to navigate the marketplaces. You know how to get your goods across the world and to serve your customers well with excellent customer service. Yeah, so this is one. At DHL, we have this thing called GoTrade. GoTrade is a pillar where we do our part as a role model in where we operate and try to expand and help local businesses expand. So this is another success story. This guy produces high quality EDC, or everyday carry type of bags. And he was truly a micro SME. He's just the boss with two people that do the the manufacturing. His business initially was fraught with issues due to failed deliveries. All right, so he used to ship by a network that could not fulfill the deliveries on time. Having said that, his items are not cheap, right? So we're looking at USD, 150 USD and above. So I think if someone is going to pay that amount of money online, it's best sent ensuring that it's trackable and the goods can be received. So anyway, he went through an issue with the postal service, and he decided, but he was too worried that his business couldn't afford express solution. So we went in, we had a chat with him. We actually showed him what we could do in terms of supporting him with getting his business across the world. There was no need, because on his website, he had also limited the countries that he could ship to. All right, so now by setting up the service for him, he was then able to ship across the world. He was able to ship it so quickly, the customers were falling off the chair, because what used to take 2 weeks was now arriving within 1 to 3 days. And I think that is something that a lot of sellers don't look into. I think it's that turnaround time in receiving something you've purchased. I think that that adds to that happiness, right? That going through the whole purchase cycle, paying for it, and then waiting for the order to come. So I think, you might, I'm not saying that Express is the only way to go. It will not be the only way to go. I think you need to give your customers options. Options is where then the customer can choose, what they would prefer. Some items could be shipped via postal networks because it's replaceable. It is light, and there's no need for speed. So some could go through postal, some would still need to go through express, maybe because it's not replaceable, it costs fairly a lot. Or the business nature and need of your buyer could demand that they need it really quickly. So always give your customers that option, shipping options, express, postal, and domestic fulfillment. Yeah, so with regards to coming back to this story here, business orders increased from an average of 40 orders to 200 orders per month. And in addition to that, their overseas orders alone doubled within the year, making 80% of their total orders. Yeah.
Kelvin, can I ask, when you mention DHL Express will work together with the clients, right? What is the recommended product selling price value in order for us to engage DHL Express service? What's your tips?
Okay, so there are a couple of ways here. I think if it's fast-moving, highly competitive goods, and if it's of, say, $50 and below, yeah, or yeah, $50 below, then I think the postal or fulfillment networks could work. Yeah.
So, let's say if I'm selling, let's say Etsy, for example, and my cost of price is already $50 US, but on top of that, I'll be putting up, let's say, is it enough for me for a less than 500 gram to go into America, for example, for my $50? So in my Etsy, I will put there, let's say, 12 to 15 USD for an express. Can that cover the postage at $10-15?
At the current COVID period, an express delivery, you're looking at anything minimum $19 to $25
to go to America.
Yeah.
500 gram.
Yes.
$20. Okay.
Yeah, it's just about $20 plus minus 22. That's because, firstly, although we have our own network,
yeah,
what has happened during this COVID period is all those without the network has also jumped on our network.
Yes.
So it's a good problem to have. But obviously, we are also experiencing a huge increase in demand on our end as well. So although we have 4 aircraft flying out of Malaysia, most of the nights they're flying full. All right. Then you have your connection flights from the hubs to the intercontinental destinations. Yeah, like the US or Europe. All those are full as well. I think the one that is really experiencing a huge spike is Australia. It's extremely tight to get space into Australia. Moment as well. So what's happened is what most people didn't realize was most goods move on passenger aircrafts when it comes to flights around the world. Okay. 70% pax flights, 30% cargo flights. So imagine when the world had to stop all passenger flights, there's immediate capacity reduction in the market. Right. Yeah. So that has also pushed up the cost of operating, because now any spillovers, we used to be able to put it on a commercial flight. Now with that removed away, we have to then charter aircraft, and aircraft charters have sincerely got up quite a fair bit, because they know it's in demand and it's limited, right? Yeah.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, so I think, Carol, okay, for example, at $50 and below would be ideal if there's no requirement for speed, or, it's something that's replaceable and something where competitive nature is price, okay? But however, if you're selling a collectible, then, I've seen people pay the same price for the collectible item and shipping as well. So, take $22 for the item and $22 for shipping. That's because it may be of value and it's not replaceable. Yeah, but the general trend or the general thing is $50 and below. You can consider going with alternatives that are slightly longer in terms of transit times. At the moment, we've seen, and I think we've seen some latest stats from Statista as well. What's really doing well in the market is obviously anything to do with home office, home improvement, as well as gym equipment. Yeah,
Gym equipment. Wow. I thought it was gaming.
your dumbbells and stuff like that. But gaming is also doing well. So anything that's home based seems to be doing pretty well. Yeah.
And someone just shared to me a local platform, a local marketplace platform was sharing to me that their best performance right now is home improvement stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of that. I mean, I just recently bought a chair. I mean, I've just ordered it. It's not come yet. I think it's that gaming chair. Yeah. So, I mean, everything gets delivered. But I must say that even the local delivery guys have actually stepped up their game
Yes.
during this COVID period. I
Correct.
think we give it to them also because honestly, it's a very challenging market for domestic.
Yep.
And I think they have stepped up to the game, which is good for the local scene. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, continue.
Okay, so that's what we have for today on my end. Sorry about the misspelling. It's business development, and that's my contact there. If you need to reach out to me, and a group email ID bizdev@dhl.com.
BizDev. Okay. Thanks, Alvin, for this. You
No
can you can maintain this for a while first, and then after that we'll kill this slide.
Can I just correct my this one? Sorry.
Can. I will put it on in my subtitles also later.
Okay.
Can.
Leave this up for a while. All right.
Okay. So thank you for that, Alvin. Thanks for that sharing. That was a very good success story sharing from DHL. I would love to see more, but like my case, I told you before what I'm selling, and I can't use Express at all. So I was hoping to use the Post Malaysia service, but it's all halted at the moment. So I told DHL e-commerce, I want to kickstart my Etsy store. I shut down my Etsy store. I shut down all my store, but there are other sellers in Etsy and eBay have to shut down their a store because of they can't ship out and they can't afford to use Express because they are selling stickers over in Etsy.
Yeah.
So it's they can't afford the $20 for them to send lah. So unless they can combo the products into $50, then worth it lah for them to do it.
Yes, actually you're right. I've seen a lot of people do that now because they can't afford the shipping on one product. So they're doing like, a pack of like, I saw someone doing mask, they did like a family pack. If you send one mask, it's going to cost too much. But if you do a family pack of 5 to a family, 3 kids, 2 adults, then it lowers the cost altogether. So yeah, you're right. They've got to also be slightly creative, but you're right. I mean, certain products won't be able to move at the moment because of the postal network impact.
Yeah. Okay. Now you can kill this sharing, and then after that we'll go to the Q&A together with you and me.
Okay.
So tell us how has business surged during this pandemic in your experience with DHL? What have you guys experienced?
Wow, I think we've seen numbers that I last saw, during the heydays of the Malaysian growth, in the 90s and early 2000s, right? I think we are overflowing, which is a good thing. But, we've always been planning for things like this. DHL has always had their BCPs in place. So, you know what, I was a bit worried because this was something unprecedented. Usually issues in small parts of the world. So, I've seen it happen before where our BCPs have kicked in. Was during the ash cloud in Finland. I mean, was it Finland? Yeah, the ash cloud in Iceland, right?
Iceland.
Yes. So, we were the only ones flying in because our BCP kicked in and we could fly in through a gateway in Eastern Europe, and then truck it throughout the network. So we've always had plans and we always, plan for eventualities. So the network, I can tell you, came together and in a very short time was able to, mitigate, plan and distribute the workload as well to ensure that services was not impacted. If there's any impact, it's minimal. And to keep things going for the world, actually. Yeah.
Do you
So
see a lot of companies while you're working at home? Do you see a lot of companies now wants to jump on board into digitizing their business or go e-commerce and wanting to engage DHL now?
yes, I mean, in fact, I think inbound lead calls to DHL just to open up an account has increased so much. And last time it was so difficult, right? And right now, people are just jumping on the bandwagon. Leads are flowing in, and both sides as well for DHL e-commerce as well for our side. I think it's never been easier for our salespeople in a good way. So we can attend to the clients. A lot more people have gone digital by so they these days when they call us, they already know what they want. Sometimes they understand a bit more. So I think good and bad. COVID has slowed down, given us time to breathe. But on what we do in terms of digital, right? In terms of e-commerce and stuff, it has accelerated so much.
Yeah. You and I, you being in DHL Express and I'm being in MDEC, we always go to the stage and tell people, do it now, digitize your business now, e-commerce is now, but they don't want to listen. They thought that, okay, I can wait. Now, slap on their face lah, I would say. Now so I told my previous interviewer just now, although we hate the virus, but now vaccine is coming, which is good. So we hope that business don't wait until the next another wave coming. We don't know. It may not be a coronavirus. It could be something else. So right now there's so many enablers providing free onboarding, free consultation. Take advantage of that. If not, when you have to pay for consultation, pay to me and pay to Alvin. Oh, sorry lah, I won't layan you. I said.
So you get free,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm just happy to see that it's accelerating in the right way, so that's I think quite exciting, fulfilling as well. I mean, to see all these companies now go international, cross border. I think it's Malaysia. It's a tough market. I think it also builds tough characters. Now we just need to ensure that our sellers now understand the personas in other countries, treat them in the way that they want to be treated as well.
Yeah. I will share to the audience your DHL, your e-commerce resource center, because during when I started with DHL Express and also the e-commerce, you do not have that kind of resources at all. And I'm happy to see that you and your team dig out success stories from as far as Kelantan, Terengganu, those sellers who are on selling international platform that you guys are assisting. You guys are very, very famous in terms of helping one of our famous digital photography provider, photo album provider, I would say, digital photo provider. So they always mention how DHL Express has the speed of delivery and also giving trust to the customers. That's number one. So that's what the service that we as seller would like to provide to our sellers. So that's good. So thank you so much for your time, and I wish you and your team, Elaine, David, and the gang are all in good health. Give me some time to what do you call that, to edit this video as we go week by week. There's slots for us to fill up. So I will thank you for your time. We postponed many times last week due to miscommunication. Thanks, Alvin. I hope when I see you in physical, you don't have that. I hate this one.
No, I didn't trim because I've been stuck at home, so I usually go and get it trimmed nicely.
So funny. Oh my goodness. Thanks a lot for that again. So everybody do check out the link at the bottom, subscribe to the channel, and also you can keep in touch with Alvin. I will share Alvin's contact at the end of the video, and stay tuned for the next Tech Talk. And we have a lot of exciting sharing on what's new in e-commerce for you. And with this, I would like to bid farewell to everybody and see you next episode. Bye.